Hey everybody, Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it is a Friday. We're finally to the end of the week. Market's off pretty significantly. We had a lot of pullbacks. The Dow is down about 575 points, but guess what? AMC and GameStop seem to be doing good. So amazing that it's pretty amazing. So without further ado, let's get into some of the slides here to see kind of what's happening. Well, the market is generally in it's still in a confirmed uptrend. That's this green arrow here that I have. It's still an uptrend, but it has been moving down as of late. I mean, the S&P is off, the Dow Jones is off. Boy, a lot of things are off. So, it's definitely been pulling back. There's we're definitely seeing a bit of a pullback, but not in the stocks that have been heavily shorted. And I'm going to go over a list of all the stocks that are the most heavily shorted here in just a second. But I just kind of want to show you a chart of the NASDAQ composite here. Oops, there we go. And basically it's off, but we're still above this key level, and that is the that is the 40-day line here. But we have some selling. It's not overly. It's almost above this line here, which means that this is an exponential chart, so it means that's very heavy. But we are down on the NASDAQ composite, but we're still above the key levels. Really, the key level being this 40-day line, where this is a little bit below 13,000. So we're still hanging there. We'll see what happens over the weekend, but it looks like we have seen a little bit of a weakening on the market. You can't tell until a few more days, but we're currently in a confirmed uptrend. I want to show you an interesting stock that I bought yesterday, and that seems to have zoomed up. And this may be a kind of a high risk trade, but I'm going to be holding this thing into earnings. Basically, it's Virgin Galactic, or symbol SPCE. People really like this one. It's up about 5% today at 45.51. So kind of cool there. Just thought I would show that. That's kind of a new addition. I got stopped out of. I bought a position in GBTC, which is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and it's pulled back, and I got sold out. So, ouch, that kind of hurt. But oh well, you got to take the good with the bad. I never tried it. I never take more than a 7% loss. Well, I say I never. I try never to take more than a 7% loss, but that definitely happened to me today. So, oh well, you sometimes you win some, you lose some. But I think I'm going to be holding Virgin Galactic into the earnings, and that's coming up, in about 25 days or so. Just want to kind of show you GameStop here. It's just been phenomenal. It's pulled back, but it's pulled back up again. So it went up, and then boom, it pulled way back, and now it's back up. When this slide was taken, it was at 305.78, which is just incredible. Or up about $112 just today alone. So wow, that's kind of amazing when you think about it. I'm currently not in it. I'm a little bit scared, but I'm currently not in it. I may be, if things are right, I may make a move into it. Let's look at the most shorted stocks right now on the let's look at the most shorted stocks on the on the exchanges. I mean, it's kind of fascinating that. Oops, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Basically, of course, we all know about GameStop. That's GME. Now, another one that seems to be shorted a lot, and there's a short squeeze on right now. It's called National Beverage, or symbol FIZC. I don't know if you remember this, but this is Shasta Beverage. This is in Hayward, California, and it's been, it used to have the Shasta name, and this one's being heavily shorted as well. Another one, this one, symbol MIC. Also, it's in the real estate sector. And then there's some of the other ones, of course, Bed Bath & Beyond. We all know about that. And then AMC, that's the one we really wanted to point out here. And that is got a nice composite rating of 91, being heavily shorted, but it's essentially it's up 51% year to date, and this is the year to date since the first of the year. So, the lowest one on this is Petman Express, and everything else is just been zooming right up there. So this is an interesting chart with the most shorted stocks out there. So that is indeed kind of interesting in terms of that. Let's see, what else can we say? Well, of course, we can see what I'm currently in. This is what I'm holding right now as of today. Of course, I'm still in blink charging. It's pulled back a little bit. It looks like I'm going to keep all the money from the call that I sold. I do have the underlying stock as well because it's a covered call, and that's pulled back a little bit. So it's at 49.39 right now. Of course, I'm still in Tesla. It's pulled below that key 800 level. Don't know. I do have a call option, a 990 call option on that's been helping out a little bit. I did sell most of my positions yesterday, right before the bell, and it's definitely pulling back. Amazon's still holding in there. The key level for me on that one is 31.30. I'm well above that, and I've got a little bit more time to go on that one. That's a call put spread. That's a put spread on that one. Palantir down a little bit, but still holding in there. Virgin Galactic. This is my winner chicken dinner today, and it's up $2.34. Microsoft, it went up and then it went down. So hopefully this will move up higher. I did buy this on the breakout from the chart pattern. So this is kind of a more slow stock. It's basically down almost 2%, but the volume is up. So go figure. Go figure. They had an incredible earnings. So I guess it's just maybe I may be a little bit too early in there. Who knows? Just don't know if I'm in too early or not. But you never can tell. So that is that. So let's get to some of the questions here. And the first question is from YouTube, of course. Thanks for waiting. Hi, Jim. Your thoughts on Amazon and Palantir? Well, let's take a look at Amazon first, and to see if we've recovered a little bit. It had been trending downward, but we don't know. Let me just take a quick look at Amazon AMZN. Thanks for that suggestion. And I'm actually in this stock, so that might be something of an issue here. We have pulled below. It looks like we've pulled down to the 40-day moving average here, and we bounced a little bit. This may be the start of a movement upward. It seems like we're kind of in a range here. This is being the top of the range here, and then the consolidated is down there. So, but we seem to be, it seems to be oscillating closer and closer to the 40-day line. So I do expect that we're going to see a bounce off of that and probably some upward motion. I wouldn't I was already in this one, so it's not necessarily the greatest time to get in. It's got a relatively low relative strength at 55. Let's look at the weekly chart, kind of just get an idea. Yeah, we're just kind of, we're kind of stuck in this range between here and here. Not necessarily a good time to sell, but not necessarily a good time to buy, but if I had it, I probably wouldn't be selling it either, because I think it will eventually move out. The 200-day line has been moving up. As long as we stay above that 200-day line, I think we're okay, but not a good time to probably initiate a position here. We do have some nice sales. And of course, that being Amazon, it's in, many of the funds are in this one. So it's basically an 8 out of 9 checklist, which is excellent. And of course, it has all the really good funds in there. And there's 81 funds in that, so just a tremendous number. So I heard it said that Amazon has something like a quarter of all the retail online business in the country. So pretty amazing company. I wouldn't be a buyer right now. I don't necessarily think its best days are behind it. I just think that it's just being a little bit not a stock can't come up all the time, and I think that's the case with Amazon. I think that's reflected in the relative strength of 55. Typically, when I go into a stock, I like to be at a 80 or better, and that helps a lot, because that means that I'm buying it when it's sort of in fashion, as it were. So let's look at Palantir, symbol PLTR, and just show you the weekly chart on this one first. Yeah, there we go. There's the weekly on Palantir. It is pulled up very nicely, $2.54. Now I am. This is on the weekly side, so it's up for the week, and it is a little bit down. I think it's down for the day. Yeah, it's down for the day a little bit, but only 44 cents, so not a lot. It seems to be coalescing right above the buy point here at 33.50. The question is, where would I set my stop loss? Well, where I'm setting my stop loss is right here at about 30. Okay, this is where the 21-day exponential is. We do have a downward pointing relative strength line, but it does have relative strength of 98, so that's really good. There has been some selling just in the last few days. But overall, I think that this one is still going to make a run. It's going to reverse a little bit down, and I think it will make a run higher. Good sales, excellent sales here. And, they have been picking up some nice business. The checklist is minimum for me, 66 out of 100. I typically like to see it better than that, but 66 is pretty good. In terms of the funds, we have 105. We had 80 last in the September 2020 quarter. In the December quarter, we were up to 106. So nice fund growth there as well. I do like the stock, even though it is a relatively new stock and it came out of this IPO base here. But I do like it. Is there really a point to get in it? Well, we're really above where we need to be in terms of the buy zone. The buy zone really is the top of the buy zone is 35.41. We're at 35.20. So you still could buy it. We're still in the buy zone, but we're at the very, very top of the buy zone right now. The pivot on it, of course, is 33.50. So we're still in the buy zone for Palantir. This would be an acceptable place to enter the stock, but you want to see that but you probably want to do a reverse, probably want it on reverse. Right now, it's trending lower, so you probably want to wait until there's a trending higher before you buy it. But we're still in the buy zone on Palantir. So thank you for that question so much. Let's see a question from TikTok. Let's see if I can get a good question here. Hey, Fancy, thank you. Clean shirt. You know what? I did. Thank you very much for that. This is a question from TikTok. Yeah, I got some questions about wearing dirty shirts the last few days. So I actually did. I went out and I bought a brand new shirt today. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you for noticing. I'm amazed that you do notice, but you actually do notice. So that's good. All right. What do you think about Nokia? This is one of the very shorted stocks out there. So let's look at it. NOK is the symbol. I think this one's pulled back a little bit. Let's first go to the weekly chart here and take a look at that one. It's incredible how much this has pulled up. Of course, the consolidation buy point on this one was $6.14, and it just shot up today. We're only 6 days in front of earnings, so the question is, will it hold? Well, let's go to the daily chart to see if it's going to hold there. Well, you know what? It looks as if, it is pulled back down. It's $4.64 right now. Here's the thing. If this thing moves above $5.14, this might be a buy, actually. This one might be a buy. It looks as if all the shorts have been squeezed out of it, but I'm liking a lot of things about this. I'm liking the fact that it's got a 62 relative strength. That is not bad. And we have a checklist. It's not the best checklist. It's only a 44%. I like to see 6 out of 9. But the ownership, they just still have a lot of funds in here. So here's what I'm saying. I do think this is buyable. I do think this stock is buyable. But I want to see it move above that $5.14. That's kind of where I want to. That's kind of where I want to see it move. So I do believe that that Nokia is buyable, but I want to put out the the stop loss on that. So I'm gonna put the let's put it out here. Give you the buy point on this one for Nokia. NOK. It's a symbol. Buy point is equal to $5.14. So that is looking pretty good. So there we go. So the Nokia buy point is $5.14, and that's right here at this level here, right at this line here. That's where your Nokia buy point is. Do I recommend buying it? Well, here's the thing. I think that it looks like the short squeeze has been taken out, but now that it's been taken out, I think that it may have revived some interest in the stock. So this might not be a bad one to buy. Let's look at the monthly chart to kind of give the whole history of the whole time. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if it can get above this level, this is about $6 level, then it's probably going to change direction. But this may indicate a change in direction, and if that's true, then we might have this might be reversing higher. It's a relatively inexpensive stock. It's up 73 cents today, though, so that's significant when you consider everything, or about almost 20%. Here's the thing: when you're buying stocks like this, you got to be much more careful when you're putting in your stop loss, because 7% just doesn't give a whole lot of room to run. So with this one, I probably would set, if I did buy it at the buy point, which is that I put up there, I would be looking to put a stop loss at a little bit lower than a 7%. So I would be looking to put the stop loss right about $4 a share. That's where I'd be looking at the stop loss for this if I did buy it at the buy point. The buy point being $5.14. That's a great question. So thank you very much for that. Let's go to the next question from YouTube. Thanks, Gunnar. Are you trading space in the upcoming? You better believe I am. I certainly am. I definitely am trading space. Let me kind of show you how I'm trading space and see if you're interested in this at all. SPCE, of course, is the symbol for Virgin Galactic. And let's first of all look at the weekly chart. And I want to kind of show you sort of how it trades. And this has been my kind of what I've seen on the way it trades. Now I haven't owned it since back here, back last year. Well, I'm sorry, I haven't owned it since here. I'm looking at the month, at the weekly chart. So what is going to happen, I think, on this one is it's going to do the things it's always done. It's going to trade up, and then when earnings happen, it's going to come down and it's going to trade up. So my strategy on this one, going to the daily chart, is to buy it and then hold it into earnings. And as you can see, the earnings are going to be 27 days from now. So I'll be probably holding it for about 27 days, pushing my stop loss up, my little stop loss up, and then hopefully it'll be moving higher today. It's been performing okay in the small portfolio. Here's the thing: I only have 2 items right now in my small portfolio. I mean, it's hard to believe that I have such little coverage in that. But I sold out of Tesla on Thursday, so I've been kind of I've been kind of out of things. Oops, let's see if I can. Okay, well, let's see if I can show you the copy of the small portfolio here really quickly. Let's see if I can do that. It'll take me just a second to push this up. All right. Pull up the small portfolio. There we go. So I do have this one in my small portfolio. It's the only thing I have, though, on this. Of course, this is the demonstration portfolio that I trade. Now, hopefully, here in just a second, when I get enough bandwidth, you'll see the chart of this. But this is currently. I mean, I've only been in these 2 positions literally for only 2 days. Virgin Galactic is up 4%, and guess what? Microsoft is down. So this is the small portfolio. So you know what? I probably will be increasing my position in the small portfolio before before the earnings that are going to happen in 27 days. So that's kind of been that's sort of been my that's how I'm going to be playing it. I may add to the position, but I did buy 1 position yesterday, and I'll be holding that. I'll be selling it on the day before earnings. So that's how I'm going to do it. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. Thoughts on APPN? Let's look at APPN real quick. APPN, and that is Appian Corp. Huh, interesting. I don't know Appian, but here's the chart. This is the daily chart. Let's first of all look at the weekly. This is interesting. A software development company. Okay, so yeah, this is nice. We moved right above a stage 2 cup, and the buy point on that one was, oops, come on, let's give that, is a 216.41. It's at 1790. So we're just above that. We're just above that buy point. So that interesting. That's a very good sign. All right, so 98. I'm going to put this down on my watch list because I'm liking this one right away. APPN. So let's look at it. Is it a buy here? Well, let's see. Okay, let's look at the checklist. The checklist is really good. It's 6 out of 9. So that definitely passes my smell test. And we have a lot of funds in this. Look, 257 funds are in this one currently. So that is indeed very good. The industry, 71 out of 193, 197. So that's very good. So this looks like it's making a move. So, wow. Could we buy this one? And couldn't we buy this one? Let's look. Well, you know what? This is definitely buyable. I mean, it's interesting. This one is definitely buyable. And we can see that the buy point is 216.71. It's 218.68. So we're up. So right above the buy point. You know what? This is buyable. Absolutely, this is buyable right now. So that's potentially a good one. So let me kind of give an idea of the buy point on this one, and this is APPN or Appian Corp, and the buy point on this one is 216.41. So there you go. Interesting how that is. 216.41. So that's kind of where we're at on Appian. So thank you very much for that question. So let's get back to the yeah, there we go. So the other one that you were interested in is HIBB. Thanks, Matt. Okay. HIBB. All right. That is Hillbolt Sports. Huh, interesting. So I'm going to pull up the chart for that right now. And let's look at the weekly first to see kind of if the trend is right. Well, definitely the trend is right. Okay, so that's a good trend that we've got there. 94 relative strength. That's excellent. Looks like it's moving right up the 21-day exponential, and it's definitely above the 40 days. So that's good. We have some nice strength in terms of increasing sales. So I'm liking that. We have nice funds in it. And we have a very nice total funds of 88%. So typically, you like to see above about 20% fund ownership, definitely, and that's definitely there. And look at that return on equity, 13%, and it's still negative on the terms of the earnings per share but it's definitely moving in the right direction. So let's see if we can look at this one in terms of the checklist. Wow, it's 100% checklist. So wow, I think this one has to be on your list. HIBB, that's got 100% buying checklist, so definitely can be bought, and the 434 funds that are in it. So that's very, very bullish too. Where can we buy this? Okay, well, let's look at the chart to see the daily chart to see if there's a place that we can strategically buy it. Wow, it's right in the buy zone right now. So, Matt, this is the easy one. This is a very easy answer for me. This is buyable. Absolutely buyable right now. This is buyable. So thank you for that one. That is that is a pretty excellent stock. So thank you. Let's see. All right. So let's look and see if we have a question from TikTok. I'm looking for TikTok right now. What do you think about Tesla for Monday? Let's look at Tesla real quick here. TSLA is, of course, the symbol for Tesla. It's pulled back a lot, and it's pulled below that 21-day line. So let's do a little analysis on it. It's right now at 796.77. So there's definitely some big selling, but interestingly enough, I don't know if there's all that much conviction. I mean, it is falling, but it seems to be a fair amount of distance here between this red line here and this here. You see, so I don't believe the selling is overly heavy. So I don't think there's a lot of conviction in this selling. I do think we may see a bounce off the 21-day line. Now, if Tesla bounces off the 21-day line, and that's about 805 or 803, that might be an opportunity to get back into it. That absolutely might be opportunity to get back into it. But it may be settling lower. We just don't know. at this point. So right now you can't buy it. It's not buyable at this time. And the reason is because we are moving down. But the minute this reverses, and I do think it reverses, I think we're good as long as we stay above this line here, and that's the 40-day. I think we're good as long as it could pull back potentially as low as this. I mean, it could pull back all the way to 683. I mean, it could do that. I don't think it's going to, but it potentially could. So you have to be a little bit careful. I definitely have been selling my positions. I still have one position, and I do have a call option out on it. But that's currently where I'm at. So I do think that this probably will reverse, but who knows? Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Yeah, okay, so we've bounced. Okay, so that's very interesting. So let's see if we can just get a 5-minute chart. Yeah, we've definitely bounced. There is resistance right about that 795 level is where there's resistance. It's right about here. And it looks like we've bounced, and it looks like we're maybe bouncing back. So right below 800 is where there is definitely a floor on this. So hopefully that floor will hold and it won't fall through the floor. I do think that, it is likely to bounce at that level. And if it moves above about 815 or so, I think you might be able to buy back into Tesla. So that's kind of where I am looking at that. Okay, so let's see. Hi, please. Let's look at thoughts on Apple and GME. We'll get to. I think that GME eventually is going to if when the shorts are all taken out of GME, I think it will move back down. It will move again. But for right now, I don't know if I would want to enter that directly, that stock directly, just because it does. It just has this absolute climax top. As you can see, there's the daily chart, and it went up, it's pulled back, but it's still at 311. So it's still fairly good. It's right about it's right about at this level right now is where it's sitting. There we go. It is where it is. I think that it probably will fall further. I suspect it will get support at maybe about 100. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So I think that if you're in it right now, you want to push that stop loss up, keep those stop losses tight on it, because it might pull back some more. But then again, it might not. It might not. I think with Apple, it's going to be a little bit more stable. Apple, of course, is such a large stock that it would be very, very difficult to short Apple, because it's just, there's so much of it out there. So let's look at the weekly chart let's look at the daily chart for Apple first. There we go. All right. So here it is. This is the buy point here, 137.50. Right there. That's the buy point. And we're pulled below again. And this just seems like it's handle cup. We've pulled below the buy zone again. So we have to wait. We can't really buy this yet. Again, we have to wait for another reversal. I think it's probably going to reverse. My guess, to be honest, with Apple is it's going to reverse at the 40-day line, and that is currently at about 127. So wait for this thing to pull back to about 127, and then if it reverses higher, then I think that it might make sense to buy that. With GameStop, if you're not already in GameStop, it's highly risky trade. But you can make money. So I'm not against people making money, believe me. But you got to realize that if you don't want to get into GameStop, make sure that you set your stop loss very, very tight, 2.5% below where you bought it. And then as the stock goes up, move that stop loss up. And then so when it comes crashing down, you'll be sold out, hopefully at a profit. So that's how I would play that. All right, next question. Thank you. Oh, hey. Okay, thank you. All right, Jim, I closed out most of my positions with profit, and am currently 90% in cash. Should I wait before? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing. The fact that you've made all that money, that is a good thing. We may be seeing, and I just don't know. And here's why I say this. We may be seeing a change in the overall the overall direction of the market. So be very careful right now in placing, because I put a little feeler out in the water today. I bought a full position of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And within 3 hours, I was out because I was stopped out at 10% down. So I think right now, wait until we get a little bit more conviction. I've moved mostly to cash. My small portfolio is mostly in cash. It only has 2 holdings right now, and that's Microsoft, which is down, by the way, and GBT and Space, Virgin Galactic, which is up. So I'm being very cautious on adding on new positions right now. I think it's wise, possibly time to take a look to stay in cash, and let's find some really good high conviction stuff before you get back in. So I think that the fact that you're in cash, don't worry about it. I think that can be very good, and wait for the right opportunities, because they will come along. They will definitely come along. So, I think you probably should wait a little bit until there's a good opening, and then don't commit all your capital at once. Only commit one position at a time. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you take your value of your portfolio, you divide it by 8, it's going to give you like 8 pieces of pie. Never commit more than one of those pie pieces at any one time. So 1/8 of your portfolio at a time, that's your maximum that you want to go in. So, but right now I think you want to be cautious, because we just don't know. We will find opportunities in the market, but it's a good time to be kind of sitting on that dry powder waiting for the next opportunity. And that's a good question. Let's look at SKIZ. Thanks, Mega Homes. Thanks for coming on and looking. SKIZ. Let's see if we've got something there. Did I get that right? SKIZ. Is that right? SKIZ? Is that right? Nope. LZ maybe? SKLZ? Is that right? Nope. Oh, goodness. I don't seem. Oh, yep. Okay. There we go. Skills Incorporated. All right. So I did get it right. Didn't totally fat finger it. Let's look at the weekly chart and see. Well, that's a pretty nice chart. It's got a 96 relative strength. That's good. And we've got these nice increases in sales. I really like to see that. Fairly new company here. Basically, fairly new company, but it's pretty far above its consolidation at 1457. So that's looking good. It's pulled back today to the 21-day line, which is no surprise. So let's see if it's going to bounce off that 21-day line. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it looks like it did. It looks like it bounced off that 21-day line. This is a lot of times what will happen. You'll see a stock, it'll pull back, and then it'll get right above that 21-day line. That's that green line here, and then it'll bounce up. So actually, when it's bouncing up is an ideal time to buy it. And that's why when you're doing that, sometimes you want to use a buy stop limit order. And if you're interested in discussion of the buy stop limit order, I do have a little video that I put on my chart schools on YouTube that talks about it. So just go to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor and then look up chart school. And I think I have a little video on the buy stop limit order. The advantage of using a buy stop limit order, especially in the space where you're trying to buy reversals, is that you can buy it as it's moving above a certain buy point. And that's so important, is to always try to buy things as they're moving higher. And you can do it with that buy stop limit order. So interesting stock, the skills. I don't really see a place to buy it right now, unfortunately. But the checklist is good and everything else is good. If I was looking to buy this one, the only real place we could buy this would be off the 21-day line. And let's put that up here. And unfortunately, that opportunity has come and gone because that would have been right about here, a little bit above 25. That would have been place. I think we're not that far extended. You probably could buy it at this level, but be careful. If you buy at this level, at the 27.65 level, put a stop loss on 2.5% below that, because it may not continue further up. So there is some resistance right at about 30 right here. So you be aware of that resistance at 30. The next best time probably to buy it as it's moving higher than 30, because that's where resistance is. But we're getting close. 27.66, it's up about $1. So wait on this one until Monday. See if it continues up. I would buy this if it went above about $30. So I would put my buy stop limit order at $30 plus 10 cents, or $30.10. So that's where I would put my buy stop limit order for that. Okay, Alex, thank you. Let's look at Corvo. And Corvo's been doing great. Of course, this is one of the 5G stocks. I had this a lot. I had this last year. I sold out of it. I probably sold out of it too long. You know, it's funny. You know, you look back and you say, "Wow, I should have held that one longer." You know, you never do. I had Nvidia at the beginning of last year, and it just, you know, I sold it, and I thought, "Oh, I'm so smart. I've done all things right." But yeah, you never hold them long enough. QRVO, the good ones you never hold them long enough, and the bad ones you hold them too long. So that's just the nature of the beast sometimes. All right, this is Corvo, and let's look at the weekly chart on this one and see. Well, it's pulled back to the 40-day line. Okay, so let's see if we get a bounce here. All right, yeah, it's pulled back to the 40-day line. This is on the weekly chart, so we're down about $9 week, you know, over the week. But I think we're up today. Yeah, it's bounced. You see, this is very common. It'll come down like this, and then it will bounce right at this line, and then it moves back up. So it's moved back up. You could buy this at this point. It's not a great place to buy it. Really, it's a little bit above the buy zone. It's a little extended, not that much, but it probably is buyable at this level. But I really think this is a little bit extended. Yeah, it's a little bit extended as well. So it's 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 definitely extended, and so really we need to wait probably for another buy point to basically, if it pulls back a little bit. You know, I think it's a little extended. I think this one's a little extended, so I probably wouldn't recommend buying at this level. But you know, but we're so close to it, so yeah, you could buy. Well, yeah, it's 17. It's 170. Okay, so no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I gave you some bad information there. It's absolutely viable. Absolutely viable. What am I thinking? I gave you the wrong information on this one. Looking at this, and I didn't properly vet that one, but this is definitely viable, and this is definitely viable, and it is in the buy zone. So the buy point on this one is let's see, give you a good number, 170.90. You know that, so we're very close to the, you know, to the buy point. The buy point on the, oops, 190. No, it's not. It's God, pardon me. It's 170. There we go. Yeah, it's 170.90, and we're currently at 178. So it's definitely buyable. This one is definitely buyable. But I thank you for that. Yeah, you could buy this right now, and I think you'd be pretty happy with that. Corvo is a very, very good company. So thank you for that. That one. Let's take a question from TikTok. So let's see. Even the dogs at the dog parks are buying DOG. I don't know about that. You probably. I'm not buying it, but there are people that are. Thoughts on Workhorse? Oh, wait a minute. Let's look at Workhorse. WKHS, and of course, WKHS. Let's look at Workhorse. Workhorse Group. There we go. There we go. Workhorse Group. All right, 99. Look at that relative strength. Wow. That is true. And look at that buying activity. Wow, nice. And that's on the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly. Oh, goodness gracious. It's pulled right above that line. Yeah, could you buy it at this level? Probably, because the buy point on this one is 22.63. Wow. Yeah, let's see. Let me just look a few things here. Look at the checklist. Boy, it's 7 out of 9. That's good. Funds are 21%, so it's getting ready to go do its run. Yeah, this is buyable. Yeah, this is buyable. It's a little bit extended above this buy point. This buy point is 23.10. So here's the thing. I think I would watch list this one. I would watch this one. It is a little bit extended. You know, this one is a little bit extended. I think that we're a little bit beyond the buy point at this time. The buy point on this one for Workhorse is let's see if I can give you an exact number. Yeah, always nice when I can. Oops. 22.79. And the buy point on that is 22.79. So it's 22.79. It's extended. You could buy it. You can buy them extended. I do it all the time. I don't like to buy them extended. If you buy something extended, put your stop loss very, very tight at 2.5%. But I still like this one. Maybe let it pull back a little bit, and then as it moves higher, then you could possibly buy it. If you buy it at this level, you probably are going to get a pullback. So wait for the pullback, then and then as it's reversing, then you could do it. But you could buy this on a reversal. But be forewarned that it is a little bit extended from that buy point. So it's a little bit high to buy it right now. All right, so Tesla. Let's do the next question. Noke. Okay, we did Noke. Okay. Jim, your thoughts on SQQQ? And this is the this is the Invesco product that basically shorts the Qs. I don't know if it's time for this one. This is really a hedging tool, and you want to be careful. This is sort of a hot potato. This is sort of a hot potato. Let's look at the daily chart. It's still got a relative strength of 1. But remember, this is a specialty thing. It's up today. It's 14.71. I just don't think it's time for this one yet. I don't know if the NASDAQ, I don't know if the Qs are gonna. I mean, they're reversed one day, and there is some activity. People are hedging, but I just don't think it's time. I want to see it move. I would buy here's the thing. I would buy this 1582. I would buy this if it moved above 1582. So if it was a down day, if it's a down day and it moves above, so it buyable above 1575. That's kind of what I'm looking at for the SQQQ. But remember, here's the thing about the SQQQ. It is a very, very volatile product, and it's tough. It's really a hedging product. And so at this point, I don't think I want to see it move above that 40-day line. And if it moves above the 40-day line, then I possibly could buy it. But right now, I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to do anything. I think you want to watch list the SQQQ. So that's kind of my take on that. All right. Next question is from. Let's look at this is one I'm not familiar with, Sam. Thank you. SNDL is the SNDL. Let's look to see Sundell Growers. Is this okay? Canadian company. Huh. Okay, so this is a cannabis stock. I don't know if it's time for the cannabis stocks yet. I know this one's up 96, but and they have a little bit less of the problem with the supply. There's a lot of overhead supply for the last about 2 years. Here's one I think you want to look at. It's called MJ, and what it is it's a cannabis ETF, and that's the one I think that we want to look at kind of for generalized direction here for the cannabis stocks. Let's look at the daily chart on it and see kind of how it's doing. All right, so it's pulled up and then it's pulled back. So there is a buy point on it at about 1534. We're well above that. We've got a good relative strength at 83. Here's the advantage of using something like an ETF to play this. Many of the cannabis stocks are quite volatile, and it's easier to play them if you have if you have sort of have a basket of them, the MJ is essentially that. So that's how I would play that. I would not be probably into a single cannabis stock, but I think I would possibly look at at MJ. So, anyways, thank you, Wendy. Hope everything up in Canada is doing good. Let's look at Neo, NIO, Neo, and Neo. Okay, here's the weekly chart for Neo. It's just spectacular. There we go. Yeah, 899 relative strength. This is just very strong. It looks like it's hanging right on that 21-day line. Let's look. Okay, yeah. Okay, we've pulled right. It's going to bounce. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so this is probably buyable on reversal. So if this and right now it's pulling back to this 21-day line. More than likely, it's going to move higher than that. So I think potentially it is buyable on a reversal. So here's what I would be looking to happen for that. I would looking for a reversal. So it's buyable on a reversal at the 21-day line. That's kind of my thinking of this. It's buyable if it comes down to this green line here and then it bounces. It's pulling back. It's cocking. See, it did it once. It pulled back until right below the 21-day line and then it reversed and now it's reversed back down. So it's sort of bouncing right at this 21-day line. If it bounces at this 21-day line and then moves through the buy zone, then you can buy it all in here. But currently it is not buyable. Currently it is not buyable at this time. So currently not viable. Currently it is not viable. So, but I do appreciate the question very, very much. Let's look at TikTok to see if we get another question here. Hold on just a sec. Thanks for waiting. There we go. Questions. What do you think of buying Airbnb and Marriott shares for a long-term hold? Well, here's the thing about long-term. As Maynard Keynes once said, we're all dead. We're in the long term, we're all dead. But let's look at Airbnb. Airbnb. The problem with Airbnb is I think as soon as everything opens up, this is going to be good. But right now, with everything closed down, and that's not going to last forever. It's a little bit it's a little bit questionable. Let's see if I can get. Yeah, so here, let's look at the chart. It's still a pretty decent chart for Airbnb. I'm going to look at the weekly here first because this is an IPO. This is forming an IPO base. IPOs are typically hard to buy, but it did have an IPO base, and the first pivot was at 174. It's at 183. Okay, and it's pulled up nicely. A little bit lower on the volume. Let's go to the daily chart. Interesting. Okay, so it's pulling back to the 10-day line. Okay, here's the thing about it, and it's got a relative strength of 76. This is probably a watch list right now. This is probably a watch list. I probably would not buy this one at this time. I probably would watch list Airbnb just because of what I'm seeing in the charts. There was a there has been a buy point on there has been a buy point on Airbnb. I probably wouldn't be buying this one right. Oops, that's not that that's not that low of a buy point. Let me put the real buy point in there. And the real buy point on this one is 174. Look at that. Yeah. 174.97 is the real buy point on this one. So 174.97. That's the real buy point for this. But right now, I don't think you can buy it. Right now, I think it's a little bit too, wait for it to reverse. It's pulling back. It's pulling back to that buy point, that 174 buy point. If it bounces off that, then I think you could possibly buy Airbnb. But I am not really a fan of Airbnb because of we just don't know how it's going to be in when the COVID reopens. So I just think you better be a little bit careful with Airbnb as we speak. I just don't think it's probably going to be the best thing for at least for right now. So that's just my opinion of it. All right. So, question about thanks, Michael. Company for L. What is L? It's not Lockheed. No, Lowe's. Huh. Interesting. I haven't seen Lowe's in years. Um, this is essentially an insurer. 56. There's a lot of selling going on. Let's look at the checklist. Yeah, it's marginal. This one unfortunately is marginal. I wouldn't buy this one right now. But I possibly would watch this one. I would probably watch this one for that. So that's sort of how I would be with Lowe's. Not a too very exciting company. No offense, but it's not very exciting. All right, so let's look at this company. Thanks, Fox. What about Howmet Aerospace? I don't know what the symbol is for that. So let me see if I can find out more on that for you. Let's see. And there we go. Howmet Aerospace. And I'm going to put symbol. HWM. I should have known that. I should have known that one. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Let's pull that up for Fox. Thank you for waiting. There we go. All right. No, this one has fallen and I can't get up. So this may be this is interesting. Okay, so let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah, unfortunately this is falling and it hasn't this is you don't want to buy this one. Yeah, this may fall all the way to the 200-day line. I think this has broken its trend. Yeah, it definitely has. It's broken its trend. That's not viable. So I would not. I would not. I wouldn't on this one. I just think it's best. I think it's best to avoid this one. And I just think that's kind of the. I think it's kind of the what you got to be. You got to be a little prudent on this one. I don't think that you want this. This one's reversed and it looks like it's going lower. Who knows? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But I would personally avoid this one right now. All right. Next question. Oh, Apple. Okay, we talked a little bit about that. Any thoughts on T-Mobile Deutsche Telekom? Yeah. Yeah, I think it is Fawad. I don't T-Mobile I don't like them all that much in terms of in terms of stocks, but let's look at T-Mobile first. I haven't really done a lot recently with the telecoms, but I do know that they're sort of there's sort of a tortured group, as it were. So first of all, look at T-M-O-B. I don't know what the symbol is on T-Mobile. Sorry about that. Let's see. What I'm doing right now is I'm just looking up the symbol for T-Mobile. See if I can get, yeah, T-Mobile US, TMUS. That's why they got it wrong. I didn't have the US correct on that. But it's TMUS for T-Mobile. So let's look at that. Yeah, there we go. Great. So here we go for T-Mobile US. Yeah, it's pulled back in 126.08, 128. Yeah, let's look at the other ones in the group. None of these are really very good in any of these groups. It's only got a 67 rule. So you know what? I would avoid this one. I'm sorry. I just I just think that, at least for right now, I think you're best off to avoid this one. I think you're better off to avoid it right now. I just don't. I don't think the telecoms are. They did have that merger with Sprint, but I just don't think that it's gonna pay the bills for you, unfortunately. Any thoughts? Oh, that's we did T-Mobile and Deutsche Telekom. Let's see. Space. Yeah, let's look at this one. I just bought a position in this one on Thursday, and this one seems to be working. So I may be doubling down on this one. It's up today. Wow, it's up $10 today. Gosh, I did great on this. Hey. My position was too small as usual. Let's look at the daily chart on it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we pulled back, but hey, it looks like we're gathering strength. We're at 44.29. The buy point on this one is 35.82. So we are extended, but this isn't bad. 42.49. You know what? I think this is buyable. I think this is buyable right now. Here's what I would do with Space. I would buy it, but I would only hold it into earnings, and then I would probably be a seller. So so what I would do this one is I would buy into earnings and then sell. That's what I would do on this one for. So this is exactly what I am planning to do. I'm buying into earnings and then selling. Earnings, as you can see here, are in 27 days. So 27 days. So what you might want to do is buy it into earnings and then sell it. That's probably a good strategy for Virgin Galactic. I've made money with Virgin Galactic before by buying into earnings and then the day of earnings selling. So that's what I have done before, and it's worked out for me. All right, well, we're coming to the end of the questions here because we're almost at an hour. So let's see. I'm going to try to get as many as I can get in here. Let's see. Okay. Hold AMC. Let's look at AMC. We have to look at AMC. It's so interesting. So let's look at AMC. Look at that. Wow. It's a little bit choppy right now. It pulled way up the short squeeze and then it pulled down and then boom, it's pulled up. And so right now it's at 13. Wow. Let's look. I'm just going to look. Here's the danger, of course, with this one. Yeah, 13. Okay. So it's right here right now. You know what? If you did want to take a flyer, I wouldn't take more than about one position. If you didn't want to take a flyer, you could probably buy this one. But if you do buy this one, be very careful because you want to put your stop loss. So if I were to buy this one today, I would buy it and then I would immediately set my stop loss almost exactly where just 2.5% below it. You can expect to probably get blown out, but it's still very, very interesting to me. Very, very interesting to me. All right, Saeed, thank you. Do you think Edit will bounce back? Let's look at Edit. Edit, of course, is a gene editing company, and I did have this, and I had this in the small portfolio. I sold out of it when it violated the 7% rule, and I did sell out of it. But it still has a really strong relative strength at 93, so that's looking good. And this is on let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah, so it's pulled below, and this is a little bit of a danger sign, this 40-day line. Here's the thing. It looks like it's going to bounce right here at the 200-day line. And so it looks as if, here's the thing. I would sell it and then I would buy it back. All right. point. That's what I think. That's what I think you want to do with this one. I think you want to sell it and wait to buy back at high point equals. Let me see if I can give you an exact number for that. Yeah, there we go. 39.77. So that's kind of what I would do. It sell it now, wait to buy it back at the buy point at 39.77. Currently, it's at 61.35. I do think it's going to move lower. I absolutely do think it's going to move lower. So that would be my strategy for edit. Well, I've come to the end of an hour, and I will be back not tomorrow. Actually, I'll be back on Monday, Monday at 2:30. Until then, it's super easy to get onto the list. Subscribe to the free for tree action trade alerts, basically by going to www.dallastradingfloor.com and then just first and last name and then email address, and then you'll be on the list. It's totally free, so you can cancel anytime you want, just so that I have a list that I can send out these trade alerts to. That would be great. And I will see you on Monday. So till then, happy trading.